What was Napoleon's real fighting style? June 18th, 1815. The battlefield of Waterloo is chaos. Cannon smoke chokes the air. Cavalry charges collide. At the center of it all stands Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who conquered Europe. But here's the truth few people realize. Napoleon wasn't a martial artist in the traditional sense, yet his style of combat changed warfare forever. 1. The myth of Napoleon as a fighter. When we think of martial arts, we imagine hand-to-hand combat, swords, grappling, discipline. But Napoleon was not like Miyamoto Musashi or a medieval knight. He was not trained in fencing duels as his primary battlefield role. He did not lead from the front with a sword in hand. Instead, Napoleon mastered something far more powerful: the martial art of war itself. 2. Napoleon's true martial art, strategy. Napoleon was trained at the prestigious École Militaire in Paris. He specialized in artillery, not swordsmanship. This is critical. Artillery required mathematics, timing, and precision. It was not about strength, it was about intelligence. Napoleon absorbed ideas from earlier commanders like Frederick the Great, but he went further. He developed a system that historians often describe as operational maneuver warfare. This included rapid troop movement, concentration of force at decisive points, splitting enemy armies, attacking weak spots with overwhelming power. This was his martial art. The corps system. A revolutionary combat style, Napoleon introduced one of the most important innovations in military history: the corps system. Each corps was like a mini-army. It had infantry, cavalry, and artillery. This meant units could move independently. They could fight alone if needed, but combine quickly for massive attacks. This flexibility was unheard of before. At battles like Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon used this system perfectly. He lured enemies into a trap, then crushed them with coordinated force. That wasn't just strategy. That was combat mastery on a massive scale. 4. Speed as a weapon. Napoleon believed in one principle above all: speed is power. His armies marched faster than any in Europe. Soldiers carried less. They lived off the land. This allowed Napoleon to surprise enemies, strike before they were ready. Control the tempo of war. At the Ulm campaign, he surrounded an entire Austrian army. Without a major battle, 30,000 enemy troops surrendered. No sword fight, no duel, just pure strategic dominance. 5. Combined arms warfare. Napoleon's battlefield method combined 3 elements: infantry, cavalry, artillery. Each supported the other. Artillery would break enemy lines. Infantry would hold and advance. Cavalry would exploit weakness and destroy retreating forces. This coordination was his version of a combat system. Modern militaries still use this concept today. 6. Did Napoleon ever fight personally? Despite myths, Napoleon rarely fought hand-to-hand. He was a commander, not a frontline warrior. However, he was trained in basic fencing. He carried a sword as an officer. He was present on battlefields, often dangerously close. At Battle of Lodi, he famously led troops across a bridge under heavy fire. But even here, his strength was not combat skill. It was leadership and morale. His presence inspired soldiers. That was his real weapon. 7. The limits of his martial art. Napoleon's system worked brilliantly until it didn't. In 1812, he invaded Russia. His strategies failed against harsh, winter-long supply lines, scorched earth tactics. Later, at Battle of Waterloo, he faced the Duke of Wellington and Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher. Coordination broke down, timing failed. For the first time, his martial art collapsed. Napoleon never mastered a traditional martial art, but he mastered something far greater: the art of controlling armies, time, and chaos. In the end, he proved one timeless truth: the deadliest warrior is not always the one who fights, but the one who decides how the fight happens.